Hello and welcome to Mobile Adventures. In the last episode, we practically got the second villager here, but died in a wall of dirt that the minecart pushed it into. So off camera, I tried it again, and there's the new villager. So now the thing is trying to get these two villagers to meet, but apparently they're not doing that, so I guess we're going to have to do a little assisting here. So this is done on a phone. You might hear clawing and scratching noises to make certain maneuvers happen. Otherwise it's held at a wide stance to prevent that, but it comes at the cost of performance, like walking into trees, buildings, and pits of death if we can just break that. There we go. Yeah, we don't want to break those. So what I want to do is I want to put those in the bottom. So if they've been fed, we can break a couple more of these here. The idea is these two need to intermingle. So off camera I also expanded the other village. And while I was at it, we're going to take care of a few things. So we left that so that they can procreate if they are willing to meet each other in the middle. They should be able to. Probably not right away, because we're not going to do that right away. So, yeah, we need a lot of wood, and we can jump when jump button's pressed. That's a thing that I like. Just gonna go with this cluster right here for now. Okay, that one's already gone. This might just simply be a... Okay, yeah, this is a larger tree, even if it may not be super tall, although it might be. So the hopes is that they are going to start making babies. Also hanging around a little bit, so okay, that's not what I wanted, but that was a tough angle to get at. Trying to get to that log up there, and there's another one here. Yeah, this was a big one. And some logs over here. Is this the full thing now? Does not appear to be, because it would be rapidly deteriorating, and it's not. So there might be another tree over there. Because also, while I was at it, okay, there's other trees around. That's the other reason why we're not seeing deterioration going pretty quick. We'll take the sticks because we can. Anyway, there, as I was growing trees to help the easy village by making more buildings and beds and getting more villagers just in case we need them over here. A couple of beehives formed. One I could easily put a fire under, one I could not. So I would just make a run for it when I clip the honeycombs from the beehive without the campfire under it. And I think it's like they get mad for like 20 seconds or something like that, and then they forgive and forget and turn around, head back home. Alrighty. Sleep the night off. Alright, so I put away the honeycomb that I did grab. I'll grab the third one just. I don't know how many we can make, but we gotta bust this down first. I don't think we need this many, but we'll make them. Could probably build a secondary building at the beehive place. Down to one log. See if anything new happened over here yet, because this is where we're... Are they too far? Wait a minute. Yep, we got a baby. Yeah, they're not exactly... It's not exactly going to plan. I was hoping... They're only a 1 block difference in height, so I was hoping that they could just go up to the fence, but apparently that couldn't happen. Alright, I want... Okay, pressing buttons. Yeah, I just want more logs on inventory here. So, I mean, we're not going to get much of anything done on the beehive front. But I would just like to get it to that point. And because I know of the fact that the bees will not... I don't think they come out the back sides. Alright, so we're going to go to the beehive. And we'll close these just in case we come and some monster gets in. That subway tunnel outside of Windows is finished to the new village. So it's a bit of a haul, but it gets us to where we're going. Of course, I try to keep the subterranean tunnel somewhat close to the height of the terrain itself, which not always possible. Do we have enough? Place. Oh, it looks like we don't. But we got a full wall. But we don't have to go as crazy trying to do this as I was off camera. Now, if I recall, and I'm not 100% sure, but if the bees only go in where the openings are, we could grab the honey, and if they're angry, and come out just the openings and not the block as a whole, we'll be safe there. And that's another video where we might have to transport some bees over. Well, that was the big thing over here. I thought I had enough to make the whole thing, but not quite. We still may need the minecart transport system, although not right away, because where I want to place the new villagers, houses don't exist yet. And we're whacking at stuff. So of course I chose to do the underground tunnel thing because it's just much easier for a mobile device to render chunks that where only the areas are 16 by 16 by 16 cubes that are visible, and it won't stutter as much. And close. So, as you can see, there's no houses here. Well, actually, there's one. What I also need is paper, because I want to build... let's see. So what kind of house did we build there? It's hiding. Alright, it's a typical oak one. We're jumping. So this street is going to be where books are made, and what the hell happened there? The whacking was it doing its own thing, like it usually does, but the non-moving and suddenly snapping to position was I was wondering, what is this thing doing? And of course, over here, Butcher Boulevard will be where the butchers will live, and we'll build a system to bridge this gap so we can put houses along here. Alright, I see some trees over here that are lonely and look like they want to be cut down so they can be a house. Got that, so drop these down to size. Now we need... oh, we have 39 more. We could have probably finished that up. Well, we're going to be putting that away because we've already been there. Put down one more. And we're jumping. Still contemplating whether I'm going to just blast this hill away, because it might be a bit of a thing. Actually move it over this way, because it's going to be Butcher Boulevard, and have it right next to the meat processing plant, so I mean, kind of makes sense to just do that instead. Actually, let's break this down. I don't think we have any extra cobblestone in this. No. I know where we have it, but let's just... Okay, that's just taking up inventory. Just grab some. Build the foundation for the second house. Also giving time for the sugar cane to grow so we can... I'm sure we have to make maps in order to make a cartography table. I haven't made one in a while, so not 100% sure. So before... Yes. Oh, we just need paper. Actually, I'm today years old after playing this game for so long. That... Alright, I did break all that down. Put this away. Let's go down there and see if... Yeah, we got enough there to probably make a couple cartography tables and potentially live up to the moniker of Mobile Adventures. Okay, this goes away. So at the windows you might hear some outdoorsy noises. Especially since it gets pretty hot in here when it's time to run the dryer. One should be there, one should be there, one should be there. Any more in the water? Nope. 24, that's in a different sense of the word, a round number, because that will equal an exact amount of paper. Alright, we just need 2 of those to replace here, which, well, now we need 3, but we only need 2. Oh, we had paper already. And we had one of those already. They will be used, so I mean, it's not extra, per se. That may not be enough of what we need, but alright, we're good there. We're just going to cut through the mansion to go and build another house. Which I have spent some time somewhat, because I haven't done it all yet, doing the finishing trim work. You also see I've built the next ones. The height of these plots are based on the average height of where the plot sits on. So there's a rhyme and reason. So, how about shovel? That might be a little faster. Yeah, you'll have a big house. Yeah, we don't have enough. In fact, we're short one. What a surprise. It's always going to be one, doesn't it? Actually, we're a little closer to a mine over here. Near the subway station, I think. Do we have another pickaxe? Well, we have... Oh yeah, we got... We need to do something with that one. We need to get diamonds. Let's see. Well, I'd like more than that, just in case we need to do more work other than that, what we are planning for. We're just going to build the 2 houses, then we're going to try and get babies over to them. What I also want to do is lock in their trades, because getting them from this side of the mansion to this side of the mansion means they're going to see several workstations, and they're going to probably try and grab the trades that are within the mansion. I could also just have them come way out and back, but if we just lock those 2 in, then we'll be good. And we got to do something about this area. In the pool. I actually had plans of starting with that in this episode, but getting the villagers where they need to be, we're just going to check up on them. Oh, we got the two kids. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the gates to this. Okay, you need to go away. You need to go in your home. The babies have... There's beds over there that they're trying to get to. They're going that way. I will accept this. Go. Good, we got them at the first part. Like I said, we're still going to use the transport system, but just to go from one side of the mansion to the other. We're also going to lock them in on a trade, so they won't lock into anything that's in the mansion. We don't want that. I'm gonna do this carefully. Probably not a good idea to get them both yet, because then I might inadvertently take out the... Alright, let's clear this crap. Found it... Oh, no. Found out it's a block, not an entity, but less processing means much better. Good. It did not translate into whacking a child. Very good. Get rid of that. Maybe it's faster this way. If one of them grows up and becomes a cartographer, we've already got a house for one. We're trying to build the house for number 2. And then we'll do the same thing here. We're going to have to somehow make it work. Alright, we are going to... Here, like so. We do not have logs for outside, nor for the roof. I am not going to use the ones I have set aside for the barn, but what is left over will be used to do that. And okay, there. Oh, we have 4 more honeycomb things, which, okay. So, another one of those, but not there. Put this out of the way. Put this out of the way. Put that out of the way. this here so we can just get rid of it. And cut one of these trees down. I think we'll go for the big one. The excitement ensues. Break. Also probably use these for the sides of the house too, because I don't think we've used this yet. And break. Now that we got the villagers doing what we needed them to do, I'm gonna wait for the night though, because I gotta patch up the walls. Yep, go up. I'm getting closer to the top. And we're pretty much there at this point. Break. And we're going to move that out of the way. Oh, we are at the top. As right now we are looking for... That was a mistake. And that's why we built another one of those. Now we're just waiting for 4 of the saplings so we can grow another one. And we'll set aside that to be there. Not happening. I see one there. Alright, we're most of the way there. We just need one more. And there's the one more. Place. Play. Nope, not there. You place, but not where I wanted. Alright, so I'll build the structure minus the roof, and then when it's time for the roof, then we'll make those pieces and then put the rest towards the barn. And of course we got lightning rods to protect these 2 houses. I don't know if that's too close though. I don't know if diagonal counts. Alright, so dirt. Not what I wanted. Right there. Right in the middle. Probably should make the houses a little smaller. Probably can't reach there. No, I can't. How about the planks? That's what we want. The thing I grabbed for. I don't know if these are just a little too close. Well, if it were to strike, we'll find out. Not how I'd like to do it, but also another thing I want to do besides flop flop. Actually, I don't think we need those here. We're moving. Yeah, we did them anyway. Alright, it's time for dryer phase, but right now I want to fix walls that were broken. Because I tried to get them to meet at the fence and make the babies, but that didn't happen. So I have to do the same thing here and progressively work my way down the streets that are being created to continue the trend. Alright, one of them's a lousy green shirt. The other one's refusing to work. Alright. Okay, one's sleeping, so that means move out of the way. That these are okay, and stomach growling for reasons unknown. Believe it or not, it does not necessarily mean hunger. Alright, one's a green shirt, so that's no good, but we'll only keep him for the sake of making a baby. So we're going to have to make a third bed. But that all will happen during dryer phase. We are back. So the green shirts are not going to be useless at all. In fact, might use them as a breeding for breeding. Not sure exactly where I'm going to put them yet. Yeah, wasting our effort on this house at the moment, but alright, I guess. So this house is a little bigger. will actually see if our child has grown up yet, because we need oak. And I can make the whole thing not oak. Alright, so one guy works. The other guy we're going to move somewhere. Need 24 paper. We're going to lock that guy in. That way when we move him, he's not going to, as I said, take a trade that might exist within the mansion and ruin plans. We have 40. Alright, we're gonna lock this guy in. And then we're gonna have Greenie make another kid. We're going to shut. Alright, now he's locked in. We are not going to put another cartography table down because I don't know where that's gonna wind up. But what we are going to do green shirt had to happen fast, didn't it? But we kind of do have so this goes away, this goes there, that goes there. This will go there for now. Pressing the X. We also need to see which bed the cartographer takes. Put a white one there. The white one will be unemployed. You are going to be moved somewhere. They're probably going to need food, but we also need lumber to build a house. Also got to figure out another thing. Where to put the bums. More than enough to do what we need to get done, and nope, that's not it, but that is, and there. Don't want the axe in the hand, because if accident swipe, I'll ruin the log on these houses, and that's a replacement that needs to be done. I probably need to get them. Alright, they're behind the... Wait. I guess the cartographer doesn't like to mate up with the with the useless bum, because the cartographer has a work ethic. They're gonna have to. Oh, and I go right by this. That is definitely not going to be enough. So, I'm going to break them all down. So those, now a bunch of these. Which, of course, again, will go to the barn when it's time. Of course, anything remaining will go towards other houses being built, so overages aren't really all that big there. Also, I don't have glass. Let's see if we got any here. Well, it is what it is. Alright, so it is what it is. It's enough to get us started. I don't think it's enough though. Oh, yep, over here. And may have to worry about some monsters. And I have not done the trim up this part of the mansion. So, this for the time being. Yeah, we definitely we're changing. Okay, we did that. Oh, we have exact amount. There. Just do that here. Can we just do that here? Yes, we can. That helps. I think we might be far enough that if a hissy boomy walked up, it won't do anything. We haven't fully built this. This when we get up. I'm gonna just start with this. And fall off. Now I got a 9-chunk render distance. I mean, simulation distance, which is as much as this game is allowing. On this particular phone. So, not sure if the villagers are doing anything at this point. Up here would be nicer. Where I put it. That's where I put it. Now we will not be able to put one on the very top. Because, whoa. Yeah. Jumping means, yeah, the sneak doesn't do the sneak thing anymore. And now these things. Not where I wanted that. So now we go and back to the roof. Not what I wanted. Better. Alright, so we now have a house, but no bed. Because that will happen when we move the villager. We gotta remember to make sure we didn't put a bed in here. Good. because we're going to need our moving system. Once there's a baby there and it's not a useless, doesn't turn into a useless green shirt guy. So he gets attached to a bed, and I want to move him from the bed. They have not made a kid. Right now, though, they kind of need food. It's pressing. This one, yeah, I didn't quite select it, so yep, pressing. Yeah, they feed each other, so we kind of need to. We don't want to be eating, we want to be sharing. Nope, 60, that ought to split up. How come it never splits up evenly? How about open? How about close? So what I need to do right now, since nighttime is coming, is I do want to see where the one that works sleeps. It's either the gray or the black. The white is for a baby that these two need to make. Here's the baby. Now the baby needs to be a useful baby. And like I said, so we don't inadvertently give away this guy's job. Alright, so the worker is on the gray bed. We're going to move the player. The worker is the gray bed. Moving. And sleep. Alright. So now we're going to need to see what the baby does. Although it's not necessary technically. So what we're going to do is shift things around. So we're going to put this, 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 and this, and this aside. As we kind of need more more planks. We're not going to find oak over there. In fact, it turns into anything but oak. And I do have, if I want oak and I overdo this clearing, I do have saplings. I also want to set aside a nearby area to grow trees of different kinds. And of course, a big one. We definitely need a big one. Some more logs there. We already have plenty of saplings. We don't need any more of those. A couple to reach out to. Here, because I think I see something. Yep. Alright, I think we got everything that's immediately here. Oh, no, we got one over here, but that's a regular tree. We need all this wood, because now that we got lightning rods, we have to deal with rebuilding the barn. The chicken level was completely destroyed. The cow level needed a little work. Pig one needed extensive work. So yeah, a little work to rein in the cows. A lot of work to rein in the pigs, and a crap ton of work that's needed for the chickens. And we're just trying to get it high enough. What the heck was that? Let's try that again. Oh, it did something weird. So we did make the staircase all the way up. We got some of the walls rebuilt. Now I'm just concentrating on getting the floor pressing. Okay, the joystick was in the way. I want to get the chickens back up. Don't have anything to do that on this side. Okay, not enough. Yeah, we'll stop there. Oh, we missed a section. Alright, that piece is in. This is also why we didn't break down all of these. Alright. Break it down. Nope, break it down. Hit the right button, that might help. Alright, okay, nope, over here. Alright, I want to start moving the good villager. Alright, so now we move to this stuff. Actually, what I'll do is I'll just borrow a bed here. Just in case, I'm going to borrow your bed. We don't want the little baby to get into trouble here. Move. Nope, the wrong one went in. No. Incorrect. How about... Where's the minecart? There it is. How about we... Oh, come on. Alright, this is not working. Move. No! Not what I said. Just work. Place. Thank you. That was not appreciated. But we can do this. Now we know the gray bed is yours. No. Out of the way. Oh, I also don't like that you could possibly just jump over that. Move. Yeah, I don't want you jumping over that. No, no. Well, you know what? It's not going to hurt anything right now. We're jumping. Nope, we don't want to do that. Nope, I don't want to do that. Okay, the baby's still there. What I want to do is get this guy out of... Now this guy jumped over. This here. Actually, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. That is not what I asked for. Alright, you guys now come in. Once I get rid of this. Uh-oh. Alright. You're good now. Yes, this is not going to be fun. This is a part we're going to have to take into account. No, we're going to shut. He'll get that. He'll get break. He'll get his gray bed back. Now we need this piece here. Go in. Oh great, the baby escaped. Perfect. Now you need to go in. Go back in, please. Break. Break. And we gotta do this at least once more. The baby needs to come back. You're in. We're looking at the sun. The sun is over there. Break. Prep. One place, one or the other. I don't want to ruin this thing. Need to do you're an adult now. Why must we all be difficult? That is not the correct answer. Everything's got to go wrong. It just can't work. Everything's got to be the most difficult way humanly possible. How did you wind up out here? Oh. Nothing works. I left it open, that was why. Go in. Go in. I need you to go in. You go in. I'm honestly not caring if I kill you right now. Just head in. Do the right thing. So what's going to happen, we're going to protect you. Yep, move. Give, pressing. Can we follow commands, please? Did you get in? You're in. How about pressing? Alright, you're in. Move. Move! Holy crap, just do the job. Press a button, do the work. Not asking for miracles here. Couldn't be asking for the simplest things ever. The game refuses to do any of them. And I gotta do this again, which is what hurts even more. Pressing. Break. I didn't even finish protecting him. Alright, yeah. What the frickin' hell? Hey, something went right. Who knew that was possible? Alright. I'll even leave this here, because we know we gotta do it again. I'm not leaving the other stuff there, because then the villagers will climb and do their thing again. Break. I will do it a little differently this time. I'm going to put both of them in the same house, and then we're going to procreate. Alright. Pressing. Busted thing here. Pressing. And again, we'll leave this up so we don't have to make this again. Doesn't like that. Place, place. Actually, this is not where I want it to go. Place. And with natural block there. Oh, yeah, we might need another track piece. That'll work. Where is it? It's right here. Good. Overshoot. Pickaxe, but not there, please. Stone tools are cheap, that's why I use them. Break. I believe the next move will get it to into the property, which it and the other guy will also. You see, this is why we want to give them a job before they move, because you saw that guy decided to take up the toolsmith job. I think that's what that one was. So, shove off track here. It's just an arbitrary number as to how many I lay down. Get right behind the subway station. Where all this nightmare has begun. I will also leave this here for the moment. I cannot do what I want. No, we can't do what we need right now. We will leave that bit there as well. Then we just simply have to move them to one house to the next, and so on. So this. Nope, not what I asked for. I asked for dirt. Dirt. Now, REoL. Now dirt again. You should now be able to safely get... Now we're jumping to your new home. And it didn't go over like it did before. Now how about we jump? Not what I wanted. Right, now let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. Get rid of this. Actually, we don't want the entirety of this. Hurry. Move time. First off, your gray bed. Move. Second off, your workstation. We can move the player now. Move the player. Alright, the villager is safe. The mapping section is getting done. Alright, moving. They're dead. Any green things that go hissing booming in the night? No? Good. Alright, we will leave that there. Now we are also going to move the other guy into the same house. And the idea is that as we make the babies, we move them along. And they'll ultimately have their own place. So when they make a baby, the other worker will have its own place. Nope, we're not doing that. Break. There, you get to do all that again. And let's just, since we're picking up the crap, let's just bash some of it away here. Bash it, collect it, junk it. Anything to help make the world a little easier to render. Now that needs to get out of the hand. And again, we're going to leave that. How about what I asked for, please? Place, place, place. This guy's gonna try and escape, which frankly I don't care. Although you played. No real pivotal role. Place. Because the green is gonna ultimately disappear. How about we go in the direction we want? Place. Alright, so put a couple here. Now how about over here where I wanted? I broke that because sometimes it won't take the form. Just use a few more here. And like I said, we're going to put them in the same house, and the B is in a bad spot. No harm, no foul, though. And a block. That'll get us part way. And we can eliminate this and then, yeah, whatever. Not what I asked for. I want the pieces up here. Break. Alright, so we should be okay. Break. We should no longer need this area. Although we're going to have to break that down again to help populate this area. Black. Well, if not, it's his now. this down first. Now we no longer need to use this side of the village to procreate on the other side. Well, we're right here. We're running out of time here, so we're not going to be able to get in there before nightfall. And this will prevent any animals from knocking this guy off. How far do we need to go over? Okay, this will be good enough. At this point, I believe we're going to steal his. We're going to use his bed just so that we can, or we can just sleep over where we normally sleep. This has got to go at some point. This was a starter house, and this thing has its points, but we're going to also need a third bed anyway. So that being said, nope, we need, whoa, right bed, put the wall away. Get this villager to the next location. Nope, we did not ask for torch. We asked for place. And block. So we're practically there. Break. And again, since we're collecting them, might as well try and get rid of as much of this garbage as we can, because it's just a rendering thing that I don't want to deal with. Alright, so pressing. Oh, some more. What did we do? Yep. Brake. And since we're carrying this stuff again, let's just get rid of what we can in the immediate area. Speed up the game as much as we can. It's slow and incremental, but the thing is, it's the fewer of those transparency things we gotta render, the better. And you're not going anywhere. Alright, we are going to have to put a speed track in, and nope, I changed. And that split up somehow. Alright, somehow we wound up over this. I'll just place that there. Nope, brake. And this is the zone that we were in before. And just to ensure, nope, I did not ask for those. I asked for track. The correct answer was track. I think we're going to be able to make it. Okay, nope. Nope, that's not gonna work. Nope, I asked for dirt. Try dirt. All right. Jumping. Brake. at all. No, we don't. Over you go. Alright, I'm going to put your black bed over here. And your workstation over here. Nope, well, it doesn't matter. Nope, I want a door. But you're gonna stay here. Because you got a baby to make. I have extra food here. No, I don't. And any moment now. Oh, that time actually flew trying to do that. Now we need to get them some food and get them baby making. Carrots are the easiest way to do it, since we don't have potatoes. That's not really a ton there. Oh, how about break? Well, we're not going to get an even split. Well, that's actually the closest split that I got. So let's go this way. Before we can let the other cartographer go to his home, they need to make babies. How about door? How about door? Nope. Nope. How about bed? The one I asked for. Great, now I don't know which one got the food. Well, that answers that question. You will go there, but you need to make baby. Correct answer so far. How about this way? How about this way? Incorrect. This is your new home. You made your baby. Now, go home. And there they are, the cartographer section, starting. We got 2 more houses to do here. We got houses to do over there. The baby will stay till... The baby will stay till we build another house and have them make more babies. That's how that will work. Meanwhile, we still have a big problem. Alright, let's get all of this. No, I didn't ask for that. Nope, don't want to use axe. Because we're going to have to clear this section out too. And we get a big tree, which, jumping. Helps if I actually were somewhat close to the button. Jumping. That time it should have just jumped. Break. Knees go away. We want to get the barn just to a point that we can put chickens in and we don't have to worry about them escaping. can break. And we can break. Perhaps that's what the we can break thing meant. Break. Oh, we got one of these, so this turns into useful lumber. Alright, we'll just punch it. Yeah, I think we got everything. Alright, that kind of says we have. Junk to get rid of. Pressing. Now this area needs to be cleared out at some point. Right, there's the mansion, so we got our bearings back. And I don't have another one. So we'll just go with what we got right now. And jumping. So now the two houses have people living in them now. And these other two houses also have people living in them now. And a greenie that's just... Well, we're gonna move him eventually. Shovel should be there, and minecart should not be there. It should be something like that. All the stuff that doesn't need to be in use away. Yeah, I mean the show is pretty much almost over because the dryer's almost done. It feels like a Sunday because this is when I usually have been doing my laundry as of late, but it's Saturday morning, early afternoon. Did I have any extra things? Oh, I did. Yep, we're pressing. Oh, and more of this too. That fills us up and we're pressing. Why must we constantly ignore the commands? Pressing a button might mean pressing a button. Not. We'll just do whatever we feel like. We probably don't need all this wood. So I'd like to get the chickens back. Then the pigs will be all dry. reach the end of the floor here. And we should have logs. Nope, that is not. I asked to change. We did not change. Of course, that goes where it doesn't need to go. Out of them there. Not where that goes. We are almost at the point that we can safely... Oh, there was another void. Okay. Apparently it goes this... Nope, over there. This two put together. Alright, so we got that now. But we need to take care of the roof line. Not correct. Break. Yeah, also what we need to do, no, that is not what I want. What we also need to do is put in a fence. Because apparently the baby chicks can get under here, and then when they fully... Can we just place them where I'm telling you to? Is that something we can try? Not what I said. How about what I said? Let's try the correct answer. That is not what I said. We're going to have to take this one down. Because this ultimately does matter. Get it 3 high. Not what I said. Correct and correct. And not correct. Let's do this. Moving the player. Not what we said. How about break? Nope, that's not what I said. I wanted to change. I already did the change. We got 2 high there. We're looking for 3 so that we know that they cannot place. That's better. That's not correct. Break. So we want to get at least 3 high. And we need doors. How about place? Moving. Nope. Yes. Nope. Better. Break. Alright, so again we're at the point it's still relatively destroyed, but at the point that we can start safely putting chickens back in place. And unduck. Alright, we need 2 doors. We also need to fix this up. Guts there. And over here, make sure we're safe. Nothing there. Open. Actually, why did we leave? Oh, we have 2 doors on us. Yeah, we need to put those in first before we go for chickens. If any are still around. Not where I put the door. That's better. Alright, it's good enough to contain them. Alright, we got all that in. So it's time to see if we can find any. Some semblance of things being back to normal. I mean, they should just spawn in. They exist. I know they do. I've seen them. Yeah, you always gotta look, make sure they're still there. They were around. Of course, now that I'm ready for them, they're gone. Let's talk about some jumping. No, we don't need sheep. We got those. We got chickens. There they are. We knew they existed somewhere. Alright, we got 3 of them. Try and get them back into the coop. Still there. Slow and tedious, that's pretty much how it goes. And they're all still there. is. Yeah, this place shouldn't get hit again. Get some of those. Oh, they are dumb. May not exactly be a palace, but it's what you birds are calling home now. Oh, change. Right over here. Grab fence pieces because, yeah, there's a window looking out on the other level. Might as well have one here. And there was one here. No, there wasn't. Scratch that. Alright, we got the barn up and running again. It needs work. We can now put this down here, this over here, this over here. Alright, maybe that over here. We need to fence the perimeter of the chicken coop. And there are no more things, so. I think we're going to need too many of them, though. We're moving. Time is of the essence right now. Jumping. In fact, that might be an off-camera thing, because the dryer is about to stop. Break. So now you see why it was important that we made trades with the villagers when transporting them, because as you saw, one of them decided they wanted a blacksmith job, which is a workstation of mine, and not what we want them to be taking. We want them to be the cartographer. One more. One more. There it is. Oh, you fell a little too late there. So that will be this edition of Mobile Adventures. I'll pick up on the barn rebuilding as I stop this. George F551 saying hope you enjoyed and have a good one.